probably lost his lane quite hard, although finally Witchslayer has hit level 6. He's got his ult ready to go now, and he can definitely threaten some fools. See, Magnus has picked up Striders. Gonna bottle that illusion rune here. Looks like they might be rolling around looking for a gank, although they have been spotted by that ward. Just doing a bit of counter warding there. The Taco King's ward is safely out of the way. Good empowerment there from Torture, although Swiftblade is just going to spin out of that. Unfortunately, nobody getting close enough to chain disable. Looks like they are betting bold, they are manning up, going to go around the back way, although Blacksmith getting chased off by a catapult. They got spotted up, unfortunately. And Glacier slowly surfing her way into the fight there. Devourer has got a cooldown on his port, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to help the top lane. It is a 5v4, so they are going to be quite hard pressed. Hellbringer does have his ult up though, so he might be able to help out here. Might be able to counter initiate, although it looks like Magnus managed to stun. A good stun from Magnus, and that was definitely very great initiation on Swiftblade, taking down the end, as well as Glacius getting shattered there in the middle of the fight, and Hellbringer has got that life point, trying to help him tank out, but unfortunately he cannot take that much damage. There are too many Legion players up there, and they do lose Magnus and Blacksmith, but who cares? They were the support heroes, they got the guys who mattered, they got them some assist kills, got them some money, got a tower in the end, and Devourer really just nowhere to be seen. He really needed to be there. And he's here now, he's ported up here, but you know, there's no point pointing top when it's 1v4. You are just going to get taken out here, although Bubbles might go down as well, although it doesn't look like he's going to sneak out of here. Good empowerment, sorry, good chain reaction from Torturer, taking out Devourer there and saving Bubbles, and they get 2 towers here. So this is this Devourer really not doing as much damage as he needs to, and really not porting when he needs to. It's having that port on cooldown. Really, the Legion team, the Hellborn team, should have backed off until Devourer's port was up. Shouldn't have gotten caught out there. They did get taken out by all 5 heroes there. Just got jumped on, initiated on, and got smashed. Fortunately, this Devourer is his window of opportunity is closing fast, and he is not doing the damage he needs to really remain significant at the end of the game. And they've also conceded 2 towers in the top lane in the one push, so they have lost all of their top towers, which is going to make farming an absolute bitch if the Legion team get on top of this. So they start counter warding heavily in the Legion jungle and the top rune, the Hellborn jungle and the top rune. They are going to make farming that top lane very difficult. Even if they don't take control of that jungle and that top lane, if they just remove sight, it will be quite difficult to farm that lane safely. So they just counter ward that aggressively, just get Blacksmith in there and just get into counter ward quite aggressively. They will have trouble farming the top lane. Devourer definitely not doing too hot. He is only on 155 GPM. That is quite abysmal for your solo mid. Definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in. Well, Torturer is sitting pretty on 350. He's doing quite well from some effect. What is Torturer picked up? He's got an early Staff of the Master. Now, he hasn't even got his ult yet. I really don't agree on rushing that Staff of the Master. A, he really doesn't have the mana pool or the regen to really manage his ult that effectively. Plus, you know, Staff of the Master, he's not a hero you would rush it on, to be honest. You would want to pick up more defensive items first. Stuff like Nullstones. Maybe if you really were, you could... Maybe, like, this is the kind of hero, like, one of the few heroes you would actually try to rush an early sacrificial stone on if you were getting a good farm and you were getting a lot of kills. Like, he's sitting on 10, 4, and 7. That would be quite a few charges. If he had managed to rush an early sacrificial stone, it would be quite beneficial to him. But when I play Torture, when I pub Torture, I play him like a Defiler. I just rush that Helm of the Black Legion and the Chalice just to help him spam his spells. Just to early tank in. Of course, you can break up that Helm of the Black Legion into a... Like, you can build the Helm of the Black Legion, and then if you want to rush that early Sacrificial Stone, you can break it up into that Sacrificial Stone parts. All you waste is the shield, and you can just sell that for half gold, so it really isn't all that much of a loss. And Devourer throwing a bit of a wistful hook, a hopeful hook, but in the end doesn't land anything. Corrupt Disciple nowhere near in range. Looks like Legion, and Corrupt Disciple has opted to pick up an early Frostbrand, so it looks like he will be splitting into a Geos and a Frostwolf. That would be my guess. Anyway, Magnus still no portal key. Bubbles has picked up his portal key, though, so very dangerous for Legion teams. Lava Surge coming in on Witchslayer. Witchslayer getting caught out, and Glacius also getting caught out by that Electric Tide. He's in a fair bit of trouble. A good chain reaction from Torture, although the counter initiation from Hellbringer is possibly going to turn this one around. Swiftblade also ulting in there, although not really doing all that much damage, and Torturer outpaces Swiftblade here, and Swiftblade getting blocked off by his own creep. And while I say that, it looks like Blacksmith went down as well as Devourer also getting taken down. And we also should mention that got a hat-trick. Really, Corrupt Disciple going off his face this time around. And getting those kills in there. But definitely the Hellborn team in a whole lot of trouble here. They really don't have that great initiation, and when you've got Bubbles on that team, you see, this is one thing I'm worried about. Like, one day they haven't really drafted very well. They've got really odd picks like Devour, as well as they don't have a whole great load of synergy. Like, their trialing works fairly well, but it's a fairly bog standard pick. But when you look at the Legion team, they've got stuff like Magmus, Torturer, which they have really they have massive AoE damage, but the one thing they want to do is keep people. They want people to stay together, so they can just try and deal as much AoE damage to as many people as possible at the same time. And when you've got something like Bubbles, they love Bubbles. Bubbles just holds them down, keeps people, just blinks in, ults, keeps people still, silences them, and then Magmus and Torture just get stuck in there and take advantage of that ult, just pinning people down and making them stick in this small little area. And it can create quite a devastating effect, and I really just don't see the same amount of synergy on the Hellborn team. I don't think they've drafted particularly well, especially with Devour on us being a pick. It's not... Devour is just, let's be blunt, he is not a competitive hero. If you're trying to be serious and you're trying to take out a match, you shouldn't be picking him. He isn't, he's not even a situational counter pick. He's really not that great. He's a pub hero. He's something you play for fun. But anyway, enough of that. We've got Bubbles rolling bottom. He also has picked up Sustainer. It looks like he might be going for a Nullstone by the looks of it. But Corrupt Disciple has picked up his Blessed Orb. Now that could be either going towards a Frostwolf or a Geometer's Bane. It remains to be seen which way they decide to split this up, although I would guess he's going towards it. Geo is a little bit cheaper at this stage than the Frostwolf, although he's getting the farm, why not? Swiftblade porting in here, it could be in a little bit of trouble if Torture can land and impact, although Magnus has picked up his portkey, and this Legion team is really dominating this match entirely, and the Hellborn are in quite a bit of trouble. They've got two great initiators against them. Magnus has his portkey now. He can land some excellent ults now as well with Bubbles, pinning people, just blinking and pinning down a team, just keeping them still so Magnus can land a massive ult on them. So I'm really not liking this for the Legion team, and Witchslayer getting caught out and just obliterated, just getting blinked on by Bubbles, getting hit by that silence nuke, and Magnus is porting, going for the stun as well. They're not landing in time. The Swiftblade trying to turn this one around, although he hit the illusion mostly. Hellbrain getting run down by the ult from Corrupt Disciple, and now Devour gets hit by Magnus' stun, knocking him out of his ult, unfortunately for him, and it looks like Glacius might be in a little trouble, although there's no mana left on his opponents, but he's going to maybe get run down here. No! Fountain, a little bit too greedy there. Fountain dies and gets wiped out in return. So I hear the blinks go off again. Magnus and Bubbles just blinking around, having a whole boatload of fun. They really have nothing to stop them here. Although they are going to have to back off here. But again, they got another tower, so they are really taking control of this. It is 14 experience ahead. They won 4GONDOR are 14,000 experience ahead and 19,000 gold ahead, nearly 20,000 gold ahead. So really, we are getting very close to the point of no return for one day. They are in a fair bit of trouble, and honestly, I'm going to bring this down. Like, they're not even really getting outplayed all that bad. They've just really been massively outdrafted. There wasn't a whole lot that Devour could try to do to win mid, and then he's just a really subpar pick. And when they lost control of that mid game like that. Even with their trialing, really, their trialing was being more effective than 4GONDOR's trialing. They were getting more kills, and then Swiftblade was getting farmed. They were killing Corrupt Disciple, which really was quite a massive deal. And Hellbringer was winning top as well, but then Torturer just won his lane and got mobile much earlier than Devourer, who was stuck still farming, trying to get his ult. And Torturer just went mobile, started ganking both lanes, and just shut down both lanes, both side lanes. So I really am going to say this came down to drafting. That Devourer has just pretty much lost the game for them. Just the draft, having Devour in the draft, I don't know why they picked it. It's just not a good hero. It's just thrown the match for them. It's just, I don't want to. I'm not trying to pick on Carnivalis, but just I don't know why they've picked him Devour. It's just not really helpful. But again, Torture now bottling another, and he has picked up a Mighty Blade. What are you going for there? Maybe going for a Shrunken Head, although not really. I suppose it will stop which if that is annoying, although I don't really see it being all that much of a deal, as it's a Void Talisman honestly would have been better, just trying to stop Swiftblade's ult and just being able to cancel Swiftblade's ult. But Swiftblade now getting caught out here, being saved though by a good hook from Devourer, and Hellbringer getting smashed, getting hit by the kill, and then it's getting fireballed by Blacksmith. But it looks like the Legion team are getting beat up a little bit by Malphus there. They are going to just try and get rid of him. Get a bit of extra gold here. Malphus is going to give away some money to Orange. Blacksmith stealing that bit of extra 100 gold. But again, looks like the Legion... No, looks like Legion are going to try and push this. Bubbles' ult is missing, but does Magnus have enough mana? And he does have his enough mana for an ult, plus his pocket. It looks like he is getting ready to set something up here. He's just hiding here, waiting for his team to bait. Now this is good play. This is the Legion team getting set up, although they don't have Bubbles' ult up. Magnus can land a devastating ult, although he might want to get a little bit further up here. Opting not to ult, just getting that stun, but getting the pick off on Glacius. Nice work, although he is going to go down. No, he is going to barely sneak away, maybe. No, getting run down by Switchblade. Although, in the meantime, Devourer getting wiped out there, just getting run down. And now Hellbrain getting stuck in the face. Switchblade trying to get away here. But probably getting it run down by Corrupt Disciple. He does get run down by Corrupted Disciple, landing a quad kill, going massive here. He is definitely getting way too tanky for them to deal with. And it looks like that Blessed Orb is going to go towards a Frostwolf because he has picked up the Glowstone. So he is sitting on 1800 gold, so he has his Frostwolf skull. So definitely Corrupt Disciple snowballing out of control here. Going to be very difficult to deal with, especially when they've got this great initiation on their team. The Legion team are going to be pretty much impossible to stop at this stage, and they are going to take this tower down quite easily, although Witchslayer getting back up. But Glacius getting hit by that fireball and the kill, but a little bit of a waste there. Wasn't really necessary. This is kind of a mistake people often make. They just rather than focus on the tower, they just go and chase some little support hero, just try and take him out. Where they could have taken a tower instead, it would have been worth more money. And you see now that's going into deny range. So they took out the Glaciers for 250 gold plus a bit of assist gold. But this tower is deniable, except Witchslayer not on the ball here, not denying it. You see, when you think about it, you cut down. Well, that tower is worth what? 300 gold, 300, 400 gold to every team member. When you cut that down to 100 gold per team member, you're making them lose, 300 or 200 times by 5. So you're making them lose like 1,000 minimum gold. That is quite a big deal. So they should have taken that tower instead of trying to chase down Glaciers, which really wasn't worth nearly as much gold. So the Hellborn team, considering Kong or just checking Kong, they have put the wards down there. Tarka King's doing a little bit of warding. Devourer picking up the illusion rune there. Probably should have bottled it, but anyway. Just going to use it to scout now. Name's telling it to get lost. Bubbles has picked up his Nullstone, so he's going to be very difficult to deal with, and also very annoying for Swiftblade because he can cancel his ult as well. Witchslayer has got a Bracer. Glacius opted to pick up Striders, really needs, doing a little bit of stacking, but really needs to have some HP at this point. 663 HP at 30 minutes in is not a situation you want to find yourself in. He will just get obliterated every team fight. Really, really needs to have some defensive items at this stage. It looks like the push is happening with Corrupt Disciple has that Frostwolf. He has picked up has split his thing, has picked up another Blessed Orb, so he's getting very close to Jumper's Bane. Bubbles blinking here, getting that ult set up. Magnus still not opting to ult, trying to ult now, although he gets frozen by Glaciers and gets it cancelled, unfortunately.
Can't touch this.
As well as the Legion team ripping the crap out of the Hellborn there. And Fu picking up his second quad kill for the match, going absolutely berserk. Although he did have that double damage, which was obviously quite helpful. He is hitting for 340 damage minimum at the moment with that double damage. Now just going to take that extra tower as well. They might even be able to get a second Rax if they are. Legion do have quite a few players up on quite a fair bit of HP. In fact, they all have all of their players that are going to get smelling barracks quite easily. There are not enough Hellborn players up to defend, especially with it's only Glacius and Witchslayer. Magnus manning up there, getting stuck in, and Glacius getting shattered. Now Witchslayer also in a lot of trouble, getting it taken out here, ulting Magnus, but not enough damage to take him down. I bet he was glad he picked up that bracelet because it just saved his life. Now, one day in a fair bit of trouble. They have lost 2 Raxes, and they are in a whole world of trouble. That's very difficult to come back. And this Devourer has nothing still. Has not even managed to finish his Shaman's Headdress. Not a great situation to be in. Just doing a little bit of team farming here. I think they stole, possibly... Yep, they stole an enemy ancient stack, which is probably quite irritating for Swiftblade, who wanted to farm that by the looks of it. Swiftblade has also opted to pick up an early Whispering Helm. I also don't really agree on that as your first luxury item, although it looks like he's going to try and get stuck in here. He gets silenced by Bubbles. Good silence there, stopping him from ulting. That would be quite frustrating. He was going there hoping to ult, take someone out, and then just got smashed. Now they are going to get this CGo fairly easily. Bubbles has also picked up a bit of a hopeful hook there, but in the end didn't catch anybody. Bubbles has picked up his Acolyte staff, Mystic staff rather. No, Acolyte staff. I get the names mixed up. However, he has picked up that. He has picked up the staff, which is going to make him fairly close, I think, to a sheep or something. Should mention that Torturer is on 3,000 gold. Fu is sitting on another 1,000 gold. JJ Bubbles is sitting on 1,300, and Blacksmith on 1,400, although just spent it on something, on a Cyclone stick. In fact, a Storm Spirit, very useful item. A great little item to pick up. Very good for underfarm supports. Great disable, and it's a good alternative to a tablet if you don't want one in particular. Magnus now has also picked up a Shrunken Head, so definitely also a great buy on him. Allows him to ult in the middle of the fight, although I don't think it was worth it. Although I don't think he really needed it all that much against that lineup, as well, especially since Hellbringer can just knock him out if he's playing to ult in the middle of a fight. Honestly, I would have picked up some other items. There's not really all that much magic damage on that team. I haven't seen Magnus land a good blink ult yet. So, going to be interesting to see if he can land one before the game is over. Just doing some more warning, taking control of the Legion. Legion taking control of the Hellborn jungle. Good play by them. Now, Swiftblade, I really don't think that Whispering Helm was a great... I really don't think it was a great first luxury for him. It really isn't doing enough damage at the moment to make that lifesteal really work for him. Now Bubbles again, manning up, blinking in, and Glacius getting shattered. Really does not have enough HP. Magnus now opting just to blink in and stun. Good stun from him. Torture has picked up that Shrunken Head, and it's working very well for him, just running around in the middle of the fight, taking people down. He has also picked up a port key. Not a standard item we see on Torture, but as we've seen through by Angry Test, it's viable on anybody. Just the mobility that it gives is very effective. And I guess he's running a very mana-light build. He does not have very much regen at all, but he's managing to make it work, so good for him. And we do have a concede here. One day conceding the match. They did let this one get away from them. Unfortunate. They really had potential here. They won the top lane, they won the bottom lane. Unfortunately, they lost the mid lane and just let that torturous snowball and take control of the game, take control of the match, and shut them down quite badly. So anyway, you've been watching a Netgame Radio replay cast of Heroes of Newerth. My name is Triumph Man, and I am going to be signing out. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I should mention that thanks to Spot the Aussie and Slub for casting this initially. Unfortunately, you didn't get the sound file to me in time, and I really did need to get this cleaned up in time. I'm sorry, because I don't expect to have a whole lot of time this weekend with the Invitational Finals, with the Invitational Grand Final tonight. Oh, not tonight, rather. This weekend, but I am rambling on too much, so I am going to sign out now. Good night, everybody. It is Triumph Man from Netgame Radio.